Hey everyone, I bring you an exciting update on space weather. We've just witnessed a massive 4.4 X-class solar flare from sunspot 3825, and things are heating up. Over the next few days, this active sunspot is moving into a direct Earth-facing position, meaning we could be in for a wild ride. I'll break down what this solar activity means for our planet, how it could impact our technology, and even how it might affect your energy. So if you're ready to dive into the cosmic chaos, hit that subscribe button and let's get started. The recent 4.4 X-class solar flare that just blasted off from sunspot group 3825 has sparked considerable excitement in the space weather community. This sunspot group, which has already produced 2 significant solar flares, is now rotating into a direct Earth-facing position. What makes this event particularly noteworthy is the potential for the upcoming days to be filled with intense solar activity as sunspot group 3825 aligns in what is called the bullseye zone for our planet. Coronal mass ejections, CMEs, have already been launched into space following the flare, and while the bulk of this mass is expected to veer off to the side of the Earth, there appears to be a slight Earth-directed component to the event. The anticipation is growing as we await the possibility of a more direct impact, which could lead to geomagnetic storms affecting not just our planet, but even the heliosphere, the protective bubble that extends around our solar system. The Sun is entering a period of heightened activity, a solar maximum, which strengthens the heliosphere and can reduce the influx of cosmic rays from interstellar space. These solar flares and CMEs cause the atmosphere around the Sun, made of highly charged plasma, to eject vast amounts of energy. This latest flare, classified as an X-class, the most powerful type of solar flare, happened just hours ago, so we're still collecting more data to fully understand the scope of this event. When viewing the imagery of this solar flare, we can see a stunning coronal loop structure emanating from the sunspot group. This double loop feature is a reminder of the incredible energy processes taking place on the surface of the Sun. These loops represent the magnetic field lines of the Sun, reconnecting and releasing energy in the form of a solar flare. These types of reconnection events are responsible for the massive releases of energy we are now witnessing. And it's quite something to observe the size of this plasma structure as it propels into space. Compared to the Earth, the Sun is enormous, and the scale of these ejections is staggering. If this solar flare does have a significant Earth-directed component, it could increase solar wind speeds and spark geomagnetic storms, disrupting technology and communication systems on Earth. More so, the heliosphere could be influenced, altering the way our entire solar system interacts with cosmic rays. Space weather models are still being refined, but we are looking at the possibility of increased solar wind arriving at Earth in the next 2 to 3 days. It's essential to note that solar activity like this doesn't just influence space, it can have tangible effects on Earth. The Earth's ionosphere, for example, will absorb some of the radiation from the flare. This particular flare was directed toward the Atlantic region, affecting parts of South and North America, Europe, and West Africa. As solar radiation floods the ionosphere, the structure becomes more ionized, disrupting communications by interfering with radio signals and satellite transmissions. Solar flares, especially those of this magnitude, can also potentially influence weather patterns and even geological events, such as earthquakes, although more research is needed to understand this relationship. Looking at geomagnetic storm data, we see that the Earth is only just emerging from a long-duration geomagnetic storm period. The last major solar event caused a G4-level storm, and as sunspot group 3825 continues to rotate toward us, we may be in for even more geomagnetic activity. The sunspots that we're monitoring are highly complex, showing signs of instability, which means they could produce more flares in the coming days. These flares and the resulting solar winds could produce more geomagnetic storms, adding further strain to Earth's magnetic field. NASA's space weather model indicates that there could be another significant coronal mass ejection impacting Earth. Though it doesn't appear to be directly Earth-facing, the model shows a high-density plasma wave heading toward our planet, which could enhance the solar wind speeds and increase geomagnetic activity. Geomagnetic storms occur when the Earth's magnetic field is disturbed by incoming solar wind, and these storms can lead to power grid failures, satellite malfunctions, and even increased auroral activity in the northern and southern latitudes. One key region to watch is the Earth's D region ionosphere, the lowest part of our planet's ionosphere, which forms only during daylight hours and can be significantly affected by solar flares. The D region shows the portion of the Earth that received the brunt of the X-class flares radiation, most notably in the Atlantic and parts of the Americas and Europe. As the flare hit, it increased the ionization in this part of the atmosphere, which can have cascading effects on our weather systems and global electric circuit. This electric circuit is part of the Earth's energy system that connects the atmosphere with the Earth's surface and space, and solar activity can trigger fluctuations that influence everything from weather patterns to the Earth's magnetic field. As we approach the fall equinox, we're entering a period when solar storms can become even more intense due to the Russell-McLaren effect. This effect, combined with the positioning of coronal holes on the sun, could amplify the solar wind and lead to geomagnetic storms, even without a direct solar flare. The two coronal holes currently on the sun are now in their most geo-effective position, and their solar wind streams could interact with the Earth's magnetic field over the next week. The latest solar intensity images show sunspots still active on the Earth-facing side of the sun, and sunspot group 3825 stands out with its mixed and unstable magnetic cores. This instability makes it more likely to produce further X-class flares and coronal mass ejections, which could further increase the risk of geomagnetic storms on Earth. The magnetic fields in this sunspot group are highly dynamic, meaning we could see additional solar activity in the days ahead. As we move forward, it's crucial to keep a close eye on the evolving situation with sunspot group 3825. This sunspot is proving to be an active player in the current solar cycle, and the potential for more X-class flares in the coming days is high. Given the dynamic and mixed nature of the magnetic fields within this sunspot group, we could see another burst of energy that may have a more direct impact on Earth. Solar flares and coronal mass ejections, CMEs, like the one we just witnessed, are often precursors to significant geomagnetic storms, which can have profound effects on our planet's technology and infrastructure. The anticipation surrounding the upcoming days is palpable, as both amateur and professional space weather enthusiasts gear up for the possibility of more solar activity. With the potential for heightened solar winds and geomagnetic disturbances, satellite operators, power grid managers, and communication networks are likely preparing for the impact. These space weather events can disrupt radio signals, GPS systems, and even the power grids in certain regions, making it essential for everyone to stay informed about the latest developments. Additionally, the relationship between solar activity and Earth's atmospheric and geologic systems is an area of growing interest. There have been suggestions that solar flares and geomagnetic storms may play a role in triggering seismic activity, though this remains a topic of ongoing research. As we continue to monitor the sun's behavior, it will be fascinating to see if any correlations emerge between the heightened solar activity and events here on Earth. For those of you who are more spiritually attuned or sensitive to energy shifts, this period of increased solar activity may feel especially intense. Many people report feeling more anxious, restless, or even energized during times of heightened solar activity, as the influx of solar energy interacts with our planet's magnetic field. It's a time when grounding practices, mindfulness, and self-care become even more important to maintain balance and well-being. Whether you're taking time to meditate, spending time in nature, or practicing yoga, these activities can help you stay centered amidst the cosmic turbulence. When the current coronal mass ejection is expected to impact Earth, while we don't expect this particular CME to cause a major geomagnetic storm, it could still enhance solar wind speeds and lead to minor disruptions. But remember, the true wild card is sunspot group 3825. If this sunspot continues to produce X-class flares as it moves into a more Earth-facing position, we could be in for some major solar events toward the end of September. As always, I will continue to provide updates as more information becomes available. With the full moon and lunar eclipse also on the horizon, the cosmic energies are ramping up, and it's an exciting time to be observing the skies. If you're enjoying this journey through space weather and solar activity, thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this update, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more space weather insights. Stay grounded, stay prepared, and join the Soul Tribe as we navigate these cosmic shifts together. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.